Have you ever stayed in a situation long after you knew it was hurting you? Maybe it was a job, a relationship, a friendship, a habit, a belief about yourself, not because it was good, but because you felt you owed it your loyalty. Most people think loyalty is always a virtue. We're taught to admire the person who never quits, who never changes, who always stays faithful. But Confucius believed something far more nuanced. He believed that loyalty without wisdom becomes a vice, and that lesson might change how you look at your entire life. Centuries ago, loyalty was considered one of the highest moral virtues in Chinese society. Children obeyed parents, subjects obeyed rulers, students obeyed teachers. Questioning authority was often seen as disrespectful. But Confucius challenged something that surprised many people. He taught that if your father made a mistake, you should respectfully correct him. If your ruler acted unjustly, a good advisor had a duty to speak up. Remaining silent wasn't loyalty, it was moral failure. To Confucius, real loyalty wasn't blind obedience. It was helping someone stay aligned with what was right, even if they didn't want to hear it. That's a lesson we've largely forgotten. Today, we often confuse loyalty with permanence. We stay because we've invested too much. We stay because leaving feels like betrayal. We stay because other people expect us to. But ask yourself this: loyal to what? A company that stopped valuing you years ago? A friendship built only on history? A routine that keeps producing the same disappointing results? A version of yourself you've already outgrown? Sometimes we're not protecting something valuable. We're protecting our own fear of change. There's a psychological reason this happens. The longer we invest in something, the harder it becomes to leave. Economists call it the sunk cost fallacy. We think, I've already put 10 years into this. I can't quit now. I've come too far. But the past doesn't owe the future. Time already spent should never determine how you spend tomorrow. Confucius understood that wisdom requires constant self-examination. He famously taught, when you see what is right, do it. Notice he didn't say, when it's comfortable, or when everyone agrees, or when you've gotten your money's worth. Just when you know what is right. Many people spend decades being loyal to identities they no longer believe in. I'm not the kind of person who, I've always been this way. This is just who I am. But identity isn't a prison. It's a choice you make repeatedly. The strongest people aren't those who never change. They're the ones courageous enough to change when truth demands it. Think about a tree. Every autumn, it lets go of thousands of leaves. Not because it's weak, because holding on to them would kill next year's growth. Nature understands something we often forget. Growth requires release. Your life works the same way. Maybe your loyalty has become attachment. Maybe what you call commitment has become fear. Maybe discipline has quietly become stubbornness. And maybe the person you're protecting isn't your future self. It's your past self. Confucius believed that virtue wasn't about rigid rules. It was about acting appropriately for the situation. Wisdom adapts. Pride refuses. That's why blind loyalty can become dangerous. It keeps us attached to things long after they stop serving our purpose. Imagine climbing a mountain while carrying a backpack filled with rocks. At first, the weight doesn't seem unbearable, but mile after mile, it drains your energy. Eventually, someone asks, "Why don't you put it down?" And your answer is, "I've carried it this far." Exactly. You've carried it this far, not because you still need it, but because you forgot you could let it go. How many rocks are you carrying today? Old resentment, a career chosen to impress someone else, a relationship sustained only by guilt, a habit that once protected you but now limits you. None of those deserve your loyalty simply because they've been with you for a long time. Confucius didn't believe loyalty meant sacrificing truth. He believed loyalty should serve virtue. The moment it serves fear instead, it has stopped being loyalty. It has become chains. This doesn't mean abandoning people the first time life becomes difficult. Real loyalty still matters. Relationships require commitment. Families require forgiveness. Friendships require patience, but none of those require abandoning your conscience. The highest form of loyalty is loyalty to what is true. Sometimes that means staying. Sometimes it means leaving. Sometimes it means speaking up. Sometimes it means changing course after years of walking in the wrong direction. The hardest decision you'll ever make may not be starting something new. It may be giving yourself permission to stop defending something that no longer deserves your loyalty. So ask yourself one question today. What am I still loyal to, that my future self wishes I would finally let go of? Because the person you become tomorrow will be shaped less by what you hold on to, and more by what you're finally willing to release. If this message resonated with you, subscribe to Old World Wisdom for more timeless lessons from history's greatest philosophers, warriors, and thinkers. Until next time, seek wisdom, not comfort.